TF2 is the kind of game where most weapons are usable in at least some degree. Even though stock is usually the best way to go in most situations, during casual play, pretty much any weapon can be at least usable. The Babyface's blaster, however, is not one of these weapons. In fact, this thing is probably the worst in Scout's entire arsenal of primary weapons. And that's saying something, considering most of Scout's primary options are, pretty bad. If you didn't already know, the Babyface's blaster is a primary weapon for the Scout, and its whole gimmick is that once you deal damage to an enemy, you'll get rewarded in this little thing called Boost. Boost is this fun little thing that increases the Scout's movement speed from the regular 133% movement speed to a whopping 173%. So in layman's terms, Scout goes real fast at full boost. But there is a catch. That catch being that your boost gets reduced from either double jumping or taking damage. And with no boost, you only move a little bit faster than a medic or a spy. There's also a decreased clip size, but who actually cares about that? Now, this doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but trust me, for a Scout, speed is one of the most influential things that can be taken away from you. Scout's speed and double jump are like his bread and butter, and even taking away one of those things can completely change how effective Scout can be in battle. Especially when you're a 125 health squishy boy who's shut down by practically anything and has to be right up in the enemy's face in order to be the most effective. So I'm going to be breaking up this video into 3 parts. The good, the bad, and the funny. Because God knows I can make a video with a coherent structure. If there's one thing that's good about this weapon, is that it just feels good to use. Having full boost and going full speed is definitely a lot of fun, and it feels good to do flybys on enemies and just slaughter them. And wait, where's the rest? What do you mean there's nothing else good about the weapon? Come on, there has to be something. I don't just pay you guys to just loiter around and do nothing all day. Okay, alright, hold on, give me a minute. You can do boost by doing damage with other weapons? That's pretty cool. Just go on to the next part. Alright, so if you couldn't tell, I have a few problems with this weapon. Mainly being just how finicky this whole boost system is. Fun fact, the Babyface's blaster used to be considered a straight upgrade from stock. Before gunmetal drop, this weapon used to be amazing because of one tiny little thing. You didn't lose boost by taking damage. The main problem with this weapon is that you can lose boost just so easily. You could get sneezed on and then poof, it's just all gone. And the sole reason this downside even exists is because the Scout can actually outrun his own hitbox at full boost. Yeah, you heard me correctly, Scout could outrun the very thing that allows him to take damage. So instead of, I don't know, fixing this problem, the TF team just made it so boost is easier to lose. As stated previously, Scout speed is the thing that allows him to be such a good pick class. Having the maneuverability to just completely decimate even an overhealed heavy is why so many people love Scout. And you'd think that the added speed from the boost would make this easier. And you'd be right, but here's the thing. It takes 100 damage to bring the boost meter all the way to 100, but only 25 damage to bring it all the way back down. And double jumping at all takes away 75% of that. Even taking fall damage reduces your boost, which is stupid. Because of this, whenever you engage in any fight at all, there's always the very high possibility of getting hit by the tiniest of things, and that'll end your entire streak. You have to remember that without boost, the Scout is just barely faster than the medic or a spy. And since the Scout doesn't have the getaway tools of the spy, or the health regen of the medic, it's real easy to die in this situation because you just aren't fast enough to get away. So pretty much, if you lose your boost in the middle of a fight, you're pretty much done for. This wouldn't be that much of a problem if you didn't lose your boost at even the simplest of things. And without the ability to double jump, that just makes it even harder to dodge. It's just a little infuriating when I lose 75% of my boost to something that came completely out of the blue. There have been so many situations where I could have gotten away if I was just using stock or some other weapon other than the Babyface's blaster. Now you might be thinking this is one of those get good situations, and you'd be right. All in all, this weapon is just really mediocre and leaning on the side of being just plain bad. It has its moments every once in a while, but those moments are very, very few and far between. A suggestion I would make to help make this weapon just a little bit better is to get rid of that pesky damage boost reduction. It's the stem of so many problems that I have with this weapon, and is honestly what knocks it down a peg from just being okay. They don't even need to get rid of it completely, the TF team just needs to make it so you don't lose all of your boosts from only taking 25 damage. There just needs to be a bit of wiggle room, so if you end up taking some damage, you still have some boosts to be able to run away from the enemy, or outmaneuver them and try to kill them. Now, if you do decide to use this weapon for whatever reason, I'd advise avoiding your spacebar like the plague when you have boost. If you double jump even once, your boost is pretty much gone. But once you've lost all of it, just jump around like a madman. Because by that point, it honestly doesn't really matter. Also use a pistol because honestly it's just good overall. And you can do a bit of chip damage to get yourself some easy boost. Other than that, just don't use this weapon. It's just bad. It needs a buff. But right now, it's pretty bad. Alright, and that's about it. So I'm just gonna go back to playing Splatoon. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.